I'm not sure if the video has started yet, so I'm going to start talking. And I'm going to turn on my light so you can see me a little better. Um, I hate, well, I don't hate, but it's important to make these kind of videos that are going to kind of constructive, I guess. I guess they're more of a constructive video, hopefully, than just being negative. But, you know, the title of this video is the growing number of issues with FBA. It's weird. It's like, I'm definitely not the only person who complains about all the issues with FBA. If you go on to almost any FBA Facebook group, whether it's books or CDs or even nothing to do with the media, people are complaining about this, that, and the other thing with FBA, but yet most of them continue to do it, including myself. So part of me feels like, why even complain or waste air talking about it? But at the same time, certain things happen that just frustrate you and frustrate me so much that I just feel like I have to at least talk about it. And it's nothing new. I don't have any reasons that are new or anything that you guys haven't already heard of. But at the same time, I'm sure you guys, it's important to talk about it. And I'm sure you guys also have issues, problems, concerns, things that Amazon does through the FBA program that drive you insane. And I know right now for me and for a lot of people, the split shipments has become like the big issue. One of the biggest issues. I mean, the higher fees. So I just jotted down things that are getting to me right now. So the split shipments is probably number one. Higher fees, repricers. So what I mean by that is just people like just kind of racing to the bottom. So there's repricers and then there's people that lowball all the time. So that might not necessarily be repricing, but they just price their items so much lower than the other FBA offers without really any reason other than them just wanting to sell it faster. But usually they're going to make a lot less money. So repricers, people that reprice or have the repricer set to just go 1 penny under, 1 penny under, 1 penny under, and they just race to the bottom, whether it's merchant fulfilled or whether it's FBA. But definitely that's one. And long-term storage fees, and Amazon, getting rid of the what is it, the one ASIN exemption or whatever it was, where you wouldn't get hit with that if you just had one item listed, and now everything gets hit with a long-term storage fee. So, which is part of the higher fees, of course. So, the two things that really got to me there are the split shipments and the amount of people. So when I send in a CD or book or whatever, and then I go back and I look at the item once it's live, a lot of times, there'll be all these people underneath my price, because either through a repricer or they just send it in and drop the price significantly. So, those are just kind of things that really get to me. So example would be like split shipments. So I sent 298 CDs about less than a week ago, like last week. And they were split amongst about like 9 different warehouses. So for all of those CDs, well, there was a couple books. There was like 10 or so books, but not that many. But most of them were CDs. And for all those different warehouses, I paid $72, which broke down to about 25 cents per item, basically per CD. And instead of it being split amongst maybe 2 or 3, so that amount could be much lower and be more like under 20 cents. Usually when I would go to one warehouse or 2 warehouses, I would be paying less than 20 cents, more like 15 to 18 cents per item, sometimes lower. 'Cause a lot of times I would get shipments to a warehouse that's close by to where I live, so I'd be paying, just next to, very little basically. So now, getting shipments split in so many different ways, it's making me, it frustrates me, but at the same time, it's like, well, now I have to take that into consideration about the CDs that I send in. So if I send in a CD that I'm going to make like $1.25 profit after FBA fees, and these are going to be CDs that are going to sell really quickly. Usually they are, have they're almost always have ranks under 10,000. Many of them have ranks under 5,000. Not just the current rank, but the average 3-month rank, according to FBA scan. So if I'm sending a CD in like that, then a portion of that's, I mean, always a little bit's going to be taken out for inbound shipping, but instead of me paying 15 cents, I'm paying 25 cents, whatever it is. So anyway, I'm just saying I have to take those things into consideration, and it's just the amount, the reasons why I do FBA are kind of being surpassed by the reasons why I don't like FBA. Why do I do FBA? Because you can charge a little bit more than merchant fulfilled. Once you send it in, Amazon handles everything, right, et cetera, et cetera. So it kind of like half the business is not having to be run by you. The Amazon does most of it. You just have to reprice and that sort of thing. And the other thing is dealing with long-term storage fees. Now, before it didn't used to be an issue, but now you have to go back there and try to sell things before they get hit with those fees, basically, which we just had a couple days yesterday, right? So yeah, so these are things that are just kind of piling up, and as I get more into eBay and their fees are so much lower, I understand there's a lot more work on my part and on your part, but it gets tougher and tougher. And the one way to combat the fees, there's apparently no way to combat split shipments, but well, one way is to send in higher valuable or more profitable items, books or CDs or whatever, so that it doesn't matter, even if it's 50 cents an item to ship it. If you're, selling them for over $20, you don't take a big hit. But not everybody, including myself, can find tons of valuable items. Nope. Howdy. Hi. Hey, guys. Yeah, so I've been ranting. But guys, feel free to ask questions or comment for sure. I'm just kind of ranting right now. But that's the thing that frustrates me. It's like, oh, all these things are so obnoxious, but do I want to try to sell all of these, those 298 CDs on eBay versus sending them into Amazon? Well, I really can't, because a lot of them the prices are too low on eBay for me to make enough money. So the price is nowhere near, and then, it's very time consuming to take photos of all those and then list them, etc., and then ship them out. So I guess the bottom line is just trying to either increase your volume, increase my volume, increase your volume of a number of items you send in, and or increase your average sale price. So, if your average sale price is $10, try to bump it up to $14, $15, which is not easy. In bulk, I'm going to tell you, it's basically impossible, because there's just so many CDs that sell for lower profit but sell really fast, and I can't turn away the money. Even making like $1, $1.50, $2 off of a CD that I paid pennies for, getting a Gaylord, paying 5 to 7 cents a CD, and then being able to send it in and make $1, $1.50, $2, even with inbound shipping. It's hard, and they're going to handle all the shipping and everything. So that's kind of where you get stuck with FBA. So it's hard to not complain and get frustrated, basically, is what I'm saying. Yeah, let it all out. Exactly. No, it's good to get it off my chest. I just don't want to annoy you guys, because, or, if you're a newbie, if you're like, oh, it sounds so great, doing FBA, and definitely it is great. And if you're able to find really, highly profitable items, definitely do it. But if you're finding lower profit items, just be aware you can get eaten up with inbound shipping fees. And if it's not going to sell quick, with storage fees, or depending on how big the items are you're sending in, or long-term storage fees if the items are going to take more than 6 months or a year to sell, unless they're going to sell for a lot of money. So if you're a newbie watching this live or in the future on YouTube, then just keep that stuff in mind, because there is FBA is great because you don't have to have the items. That's the thing. You don't have to keep the items in your storage unit like I am, or in the garage, or in your house, or whatever. You can just ship them to an Amazon warehouse, but you got to pay to ship it in. You got to pay to store it every month, And then if you don't sell it within 6 months or within 12 months, then you have to pay a long-term storage fee, which depending on the size of the item can be big, can be a big fee. So for instance, like I had a few vinyl records, probably like 20 or so left. I sold a lot of vinyl records, either 2016, I mean a lot, it wasn't like tons, but for me it was a lot. In 2016 and then some in 2017, but mostly 16. And I still had some left over, probably less than 20. And I was going back repricing stuff and getting rid of some stuff before the long-term storage fee, and I found some vinyl records. And you know, the long-term storage fee on that is going to be more than on a CD, than on a smaller item. So anyway, just keep those things in mind if you're starting out. If you've been doing this for as long as I have or longer, then you know, you already know about that. But so Amazon is like, it's like the, you know, the only deal in town, sort of, if you want to sell online and not do it all yourself. If you want to have them fulfill it for you, you know, it's the best thing going. So there's no really, you know, way around it, basically. Okay, so I let it all out, and now Milk Cap, it says, I don't think Amazon will be getting any easier for sellers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it can get easier. Like, I don't see how it can get easier. I mean, some of the things that make the process more streamlined are all the software that you can use, and you know, you can scan and upload things quickly, and you know, but the split shipments, that's another thing about split shipments, is not only the cost, the financial cost, but the time cost, where, you know, sending 100, let's say CDs or 100 CDs to one warehouse is going to be way quicker than 100 CDs to, you know, 5 or 6 warehouses, because then you got to put them in different stacks, and then you got to have the right size boxes to send them in, and then you got to do each one individually to print out, you know, go through the whole process on Amazon to print out the labels and get it all ready. So it takes longer. So that's another thing. But anyway, yeah, to your point, I mean, I don't think it's going to get any easier. It's definitely not going to get cheaper. I think it's kind of like maxed out in terms of it being, well, it's just going to get more expensive, and the process, I can't see it getting any faster. I mean, hiring somebody to help you with some of the laborious stuff like listing and shipping, it can be really good if you're doing a lot of volume, because then you don't have to do it, you know, and you can train somebody to be relatively quick at it, like you can with eBay. Barb says, I am so glad I am no longer doing FBA. I guess you got out of it. I think you said that before in another video. I guess you're just doing eBay. I mean, that's the thing. The more I do FBA, when I go to list, and then when I have to go to get items out of there for long-term storage, I just feel like, oh man, eBay is the way to go. But it is for a lot of things. And I think the more I do eBay, and especially I think if and when I actually hire somebody to help me list on eBay and I'm no longer doing the listing, and I can ramp that up a lot, because as of now I have like 220 or... I'm getting a call, guys. I gotta take the... Okay, I'm gonna call the person back. But, what do you call it? I just totally blanked. But yeah, so, you know, I think eBay is a great option. Let me think here. Yeah, eBay, Posh, Etsy, and if you think it's on Mercury. And then Fashion Outlook says, I honestly don't think FBA will be around for amateur third-party sellers for long. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to cut this short. I have to take this call. I'll try to make another video tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, guys. And as always, remember, keep booking, guys.